This is Valley News Live at 5:30.
We begin on this Tuesday knowing that this is just the beginning. A major storm that our First Alert Storm team has been watching for several days is not only at our doorstep, but it's kind of kicking it in. As you take a look at our Grand Forks sky cam, which includes blowing snow and whiteout conditions, I want to tell you that I-94 from Jamestown to the Montana border has closed. Again, that's I-94 from Jamestown to the Montana border. It's closed. Our team coverage continues from all across the state of North Dakota. We want to show you a video right now from the state capitol in Bismarck. As you can see behind me, there's lots of snow on the ground there. Let's go right away to meteorologist Nathan Hopper with the latest on what's happening right here. Nathan?
Yeah, thanks, Mike. I wanted to add to that, I-94 also closed in Montana from the state border to Billings. So that whole area from Billings all the way to Jamestown is getting absolutely walloped by this storm as we speak. Look at this. This is some of the pictures we're seeing of those massive snowflakes. This is from the St. Hilaire area near the Red Lake River. Lori shared this photo with us. Those look like they'd be almost painful to get hit with how big those snowflakes are. But of course, today is a First Alert weather day. It continues tomorrow. It continues Thursday. It continues on Friday, expecting wintry impacts from this system all week long. Here's the system making its way in, seeing, of course, those areas, as you can see, from Bismarck all the way out toward Billings, seeing the snow and the strongest of those winds right now in central North Dakota. But even seeing that heavy snow really stacking up right now in Grand Forks, seeing some reports of about 8 inches there in the Grand Forks area, in some spots around our northern counties. But we're also seeing some storms through Minneapolis, and look at that, near Sioux Falls, severe thunderstorm warning right along I-90 at this time. So we see some of those deeper blues is where we're seeing those heavier snowfall rates. So you can see a lot of folks already in the 6 to 8 inch range of reported measurements up toward the north, and yes, reducing visibility to near zero in these areas where there are those heavier snow bands. You can see that green hue on the map. Those are visibilities near zero. So that snow and the wind doing a number on those roads and doing a number on those travelers who are trying to get through. Of course, a lot of those areas have no travel advised, and of course 94 closed from Jamestown to the state border of Montana. So there's where we're seeing the strongest wind is right along I-94 in our western counties, seeing gusts up over 45 miles per hour there. Not quite as windy across Minnesota as a northeast wind. The trees keeping those counties shielded from most of the strongest winds, but I do expect winds to really kick up here, especially tomorrow, as we expect more blizzard-like conditions for us. So for the hour-by-hour, a quick look at this. We'll see through this evening, of course, that heavier snow mainly toward the north, rain off toward the south. A major winter storm is ongoing. Significant snow totals with blizzard conditions, power outages. And this is one of those the heavy snow that we're expected to make some trouble for some snow load on roofs with that difficult to impossible travel. Expecting some travel, some air flight, some airline cancellations here as well. So if you are traveling, make sure you have that full tank of gas, that winter survival kit. I know it's mid-April, Mike, but don't want to forget how to drive in the snow, and don't want to forget those survival kits also with this impactful system we're tracking for us. But of course, we'll have all the details, a lot to talk about coming up in our full weather segment, about 7 minutes.
All right, thanks so much, Nathan. Out west, the blizzard not only closed the interstate, but it also led to the closure of the North Dakota Capitol and other state facilities in Bismarck, as well as scores of schools and colleges. Governor Doug Burgum activated the Emergency Operations Center to help with any stranded people. Valley News Team's Erica Craven has the latest from the Capitol.
The winter conditions are increasingly getting worse across the state of North Dakota, including right here in Bismarck, where you can see the wind has really picked up and snow is kind of blowing sideways, creating these snowbanks and drifts. Behind me here, I don't know if you can see with the low visibility, but plows are out. They are clearing the streets as fast as they can. But it's really coming down quite fast. We've had a number of inches in just the last few hours, it seems like. So North Dakota Highway Patrol and Bismarck Police have been responding to numerous crashes on the streets around here, and they continue to advise residents to stay home if they can. And if you do happen to go out, they say to tell somebody where you're going and make sure your headlights are on. So again, the wind is really causing that low visibility here and that drifting snow here in Bismarck. So in Bismarck, Erica Craven reporting for Valley News Live.
All right, thank you so much, Erica. Another area that is expected to get hard is the Devil's Lake Basin. Valley News Team JC Dodd is in DL, and she joins us live from there. JC, what's
Mike, I am out here in Devil's Lake and it is very windy, cold, and wet. The snow has been coming down for over 5 hours now and it has not stopped. It has only gotten heavier. Now, I'm actually standing behind a big building blocking the wind. I'm going to step over here and you can see how much this wind picks up. It is almost painful. I'm now out in the open. I cannot keep my eyes open with this south wind that's coming in, taking all of that snow, and it is extremely painful. Now looking out at Highway 2, near zero in visibility, it is very hard to see. There's actually a road right here to my left. You can't even see the road. It is completely snow covered, and these strong winds are just picking up this snow and blowing it, making it very, very hard to see. You can hardly even see this car driving on Highway 2 right there here in Devil's Lake. So Mike, things are rapidly getting worse over the past few hours that we've been here with this storm. It is very hard to see, very cold, very wet here, but we'll stay here, continue to monitor here in Devil's Lake. But now let's go get a look at what Castleton like is. Jillian, how are things down a little bit more south?
Thanks, JC. I'm out here in Castleton where we're right on the border of that rain and snowfall. Now, as you can see, we are experiencing that rainfall and the wind. Now, we haven't seen any snow yet, but you can feel that it's close by along with the storm setting in with the lower temperatures and the stronger winds. Along this road here, there's been quite a bit of traffic. But if you're commuting or traveling, you should stay safe in these conditions. I'm Jillian Trudeau, Valley News Live.
All right, thank you so much, Jillian. Let's expand our look at the conditions, specifically the roads across North Dakota. Again, the big news, it was just announced about a half hour ago. I-94 is shut down between Jamestown and the Montana border. That has now been extended all the way over to Billings. With what's forecasted, I wonder how many days it's going to take before that stretch of road opens up. The interstate is smack dab in the middle of an area where many, if not all, roads are closed or blocked. The other major headline is the large area where no travel is advised. That area is in purple. We're going to take a quick look at Minnesota, where it's not that bad. The troubled spots include the extreme northwestern corner of the state, which includes the cities of Warroad, Roseau, and Thief River Falls. That's where a winter storm warning extends. It's a good idea, of course, to keep that VNL Weather app handy for forecasts right at your fingertips. You can download it and use it for free. Simply just search VNL Weather in the App Store today. The man who went on a 4-day robbery spree last summer has been sentenced in federal court. Hunter Havisto was originally charged with 5 counts of interference with commerce by threats and violence. However, documents show 2 of those counts were dropped. Havisto pleaded guilty in the case in December. He robbed a number of businesses from June 6th through the 10th. His spree ended when an employee at Mr. Money fired multiple shots at the back window of Havisto's getaway car as a way to make the car more identifiable to the public and police. Havisto was arrested a few hours later. In an interview with Valley News Live shortly after his arrest, Havisto apologized and said addiction to drugs were partially to blame. Havisto was sentenced to serve over 3 years in prison, where he will undergo substance abuse treatment. A manhunt is underway in the Big Apple, New York City, as police are looking for a man who set off a smoke bomb and then opened fire inside a subway car in Brooklyn during the middle of the morning rush hour. At least 10 people were shot, but police say everyone is expected to survive. Witness videos captured the terrifying scene as a New York City subway pulled into the 36th Street station in Brooklyn. Police say the gunman set off a smoke bomb before pulling out a gun and opening fire.
He is being reported as a male black, approximately 5 feet 5 inches tall with a heavy build.
Witnesses say the gunman had a green construction vest on and put on a gas mask before carrying out his attack. Of the 5 injured, 5 are in critical condition, but they are considered stable. Police are pouring through surveillance video to try and figure out where he went. The man linked to a Pelican Rapids shooting is now in custody. 36-year-old Fufasa Prathane was arrested this morning in Redwood County. That's about 180 miles away from where the shooting happened. He left after the Sunday shooting, which injured 1 person in the leg. The victim is in stable condition. An arrest warrant has been issued for a woman accused of starting a fire in Dilworth. 32-year-old Brianna Page is charged with arson as well as a felony count of negligent fires. If convicted, she could spend up to 10 years in prison on the most serious charge. The The fire in question involved a car at the Villa Apartments on 5th Street in November. Flames spread to nearby garages. Investigators say Page admitted to starting the fire. However, she has not been located. Minnesota's governor pays a visit to Moorhead today. Later on Valley News Live at 5:30, what he says will benefit the area if approved by state lawmakers.
Tonight, heavy snow with blizzard conditions, northwest rain in the warmer southeastern part of our viewing area. But tomorrow, a dry punch for some of us, especially south and into Minnesota. But for the rest of us, windy, heavy snow, blizzard conditions again, and wind gusts 50 plus on Thursday. Here's a look at how much snowfall we're expecting from this system. We'll talk about this in detail next.